one there, South Fremantle. This is Bone towards the wing. Patterson worked under the ball. Jamison leads in the race, gathers, runs down towards half forward, pulls it back towards centre half forward. That was a very clever kick. Well, Fogden was going, now he's in trouble, holding the ball, a decision, and the ball will come back and a free kick will go to Maloney of South Fremantle. Slow motion stuff from Fogden there.
Yes, he made good space to get the ball and then just obviously tied up his efforts in that first quarter.
Siren, meantime, for three-quarter time here at the Sir Richard Moore Oval. And we find that the Crows are narrow leaders. They lead 10-10 to 9-12. We'll be back in just a moment. Half-time, and now find themselves 4 points behind. Checking goal scorers. Firstly for the Adelaide Crows, 5 to Tony Modra, up forward at full forward. Jared Hocking has 3, and singles to Godden, Patterson, and I think that's about the extent of it. As far as South Fremantle are concerned, well, Frank Morellini has kicked 6 for them this afternoon. Jason Spinks has 2, and the other goal kicked by Ashley Clementi, who's off the ground. So at three-quarter time, I suppose you've got to say the Adelaide Crows in a winning position. They'll finish on the breeze. It was a handy third term by them, Ross.
Yeah, it looked as if a few of the South players just tiring a little. Their efforts with their bodies physically in that first half just taking its toll. Their tackling has been very good. Their shepherding and teamwork also, I thought, exemplary really for this time of the year. Now they're just tiring. The Crows just a little bit more physically stronger too, just a bit taller. They're just dominating up and down the middle of the ground.
So it's double-header action coming up later today. It's the West Coast Eagles against the Adelaide Crows. We're looking forward to that one. We'll be back in Kalgoorlie right after this. Consummate tourist Max Stevens. Good afternoon, Max.
Good afternoon, Dennis. Well, you can tell by the attire, the conditions down here. We haven't got the air conditioner like you have up there in the commentary position. But let's just have a listen to what some of the coaches said. Firstly, Michael Taylor from the Crows. He was pretty concerned that he wanted the players to get as much fluid into their bodies after that first 3 quarters of football. I tell you what, it's very hot here. He says they have the wind in this quarter, favouring what you'd call the members' pocket. He wants them to use it. He says that to hold off South, well, he believes if we get up running very early in this quarter, we can do it, and they must play in front. Mark Watson, South Fremantle, fairly critical all day of the way his players have kicked for goal, and I think the scoreboard spells that out. He wants them to settle down, particularly when they are kicking towards the goals. He said that his defenders must man up. They must wear those Adelaide Crows like a glove in this quarter. Otherwise, Adelaide will definitely run away with this game.
Thank you, Max. Max Stevens. It's a confident man who wears a hat on this ground this afternoon. That breeze is certainly blustering around, but he did it with aplomb. So 10-10 to 9-12 coming to the last quarter. And not far away now, the West Coast Eagles, their first run of the season up against the Adelaide Crows. And you've got to look at these two sides. They're both star-studded, a few absentees certainly. Tony McGuinness is a late withdrawal as far as the Crows are concerned this afternoon. Stuart Wigney is also out, as is Mark Micken. And the West Coast Eagles absentees have been well documented, but it's a great opportunity to see some of the younger players like Drew Banfield, who was the #1 draft selection last November. Tony Godden, another one. Damien Hampson. Matthew Connell, Paul Simons, and of course players who were drafted back in time but still haven't made their mark as yet. Jason Ball and Derek Hall, both young players with big futures. So it's going to be an exciting afternoon, but first things first, can South Fremantle turn this situation around? It remains to be seen. It's going to be tough from here, working up into a strong breeze, and obviously at this stage, Ross, fitness will have a major bearing.
Yes, I mentioned that the break there, Dennis, the South players to me look more tired than the Crows players, and we'll soon find out.
Bounce of the ball to start the final term then. It favours Spinks, uncontested, but he slaps it straight down to Fogden. Fogden's kick comes down towards half forward. Awkward bounce. No. Oops. Yes. Fumble from Gaspar. Comes to Modra. He snaps, gets a goal.
The joys of selling something through a newspaper.
The mark on this occasion, though, taken by Cliff Collard. Posed by Godden. Collard comes wide. Morellini, having kicked 6 goals, is now playing in the centre of the ground. He's taken this mark right half back. Boots the ball up towards high into the air. Good mark there by Soderstrom. of the Adelaide Crows. Hand passes off quickly to Wellman. Ball to half forward. Taliano went past it. Macri in there. Tapped out. Now it comes in the direction there of Hocking. He's on the left boot, but he's found Modra deep in the right full forward pocket. Good pace from Modra on that occasion to take the mark in front of his second opponent for the day, Darren Gaspar. He's going to pass the ball off because Patterson had got loose, and it was loose marking by South Fremantle, and Patterson from 20 metres out, just about directly in front. He's kicked one goal.
He's been a fair player at forward too, Trevor. I think Patterson. I've seen him more often in the back line, but he's found a bit of a spot for himself up there forward.
So Paul Patterson, the drop punt, allows for the breeze to the right-hand side and puts it through for a major. They're out by 16 points. It's like a centre square infringement. The free kick to be taken by Marty Atkins of South Fremantle. It's going to go up towards centre half forward, where they set. Ball on the ground. South Fremantle leading the race here. Player in Farrell. Ball back inboard. Comes to Taylor. He hand passes quickly to Warren, who's on the left boot but goes across the face of goal. And over the line for a boundary throw-in. Right next to the left hand behind post. Ball to be thrown into play. Fogden tries to do the ruck work. Grant in there. Hand pass now to Wiedemann on the left boot. Up towards the centre of the ground. Big Randall Bone in there. The mark taken by Cliff Collard. Throws a hand pass wide for Bottrell. Right half forward. The ball slews off his boot close to the line. Boundary throw in.
12-10, 9-12, Crows lead. Thrown in. Hooked behind. Maloney on all fours, lacking support. Fogden picks it up to Sanderson. High kick towards midfield. Up was Patterson, didn't touch the ball. This is Griliasic, trying to force his way through. Nothing doing. Jamison to Godden. Godden down towards Modra. The forward line is very open for the Crows. Godden is running past Modra. Should have looked up and given a hand pass. As it was, the moment was gone. Gaspar did well. Gets it across to Collard, who goes short to Matera. Matera runs up through the middle. Kicks towards half forward. Maloney's in front. Knocked away by Fogden. Opportunity for Collins. Gets it away. Morellini forward at the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Mark is juggled. No, not played. Well done by Visca. Falling to the ground. He got it to Wellman, who was taken high. Wellman, I think, will be forced to take the kick. It has to come back to right half back for the Adelaide Crows. Some well-known faces in the crowd today. Probably barracking for the Crows. I wouldn't think so. So eventually the ball gets back to Wellman. Right half back. Floats it on the breeze. Down towards half forward. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Soderstrom couldn't control it. Sanderson, was he taken high? I think he might have been. He's going to get the free kick. In fact, it's going, yes it is, to Sanderson on the wing. Towards half forward. Collard drifts back. Uncontested. Lays it off. Morellini decides to run it out. Kicks it towards the wing. And the mark is held in front here by Bartle. Bartle down towards half forward. Maloney on his chest. Running on down the ground is Taylor. Thinks about using Taylor. Now goes for distance instead. Not a good kick. And the mark uncontested is held by Fogden, who's been a very good player.
Wiedemann, hand pass now, up towards half forward, the left half forward flank of the Crows. Leading in the race, Hocking. Pacey player for centre half forward. Couldn't control that football. Ball to be thrown into play. I noticed the bike track's missing from the Sir Richard Moore Oval. It used to be around here one time. The players will be happy about that. Atkins jostles with Bone. Patterson wins the tap. Collard, 2 hits at it. Morellini close to the boundary line, keeps it in cleverly. Hand pass inboard to Griliasic. Over to Warren, back to Griliasic. The left footer. Up towards half forward, a lucky kick probably to Matera. Macri puts him off with a tackle from behind. The little terrier goes back, the captain of South Fremantle. Hand pass to Warren. Now to Bottrell, who left the ball behind. So the Crows can get it safely over the line through Geddes. Ball to be thrown in left centre wing. 12-10 the Adelaide Crows. Souths are 9-12. Ball to be thrown into play. Atkins jostles with Fogden. Comes out the strongest on that occasion. Socket further ahead. And the ball over the line once again. South inching the ball forward. Got it towards right half forward. Kicking into the breeze in this quarter. Trailing by 16 points. Trying to work hard here. Wiedemann. In the meantime, a free kick picked out. Atkins and Fogden want to go on with it. Temper's getting a little bit frayed. The heat. Now there's a 50-metre penalty to South Fremantle. Or is there?
Fogden headlock. It sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Fogden's taken the free. In towards half forward. Sanderson. Hand pass to Hocking. He's bowled over by Mark Collins back on the ground. Italiano now to Jamison. And he's gone wide. Peter Turner well down the ground. Try and get the ball back to a teammate. Hocking again. Torrid football over there. South Fremantle should bring it away through Collins. Matera's going to have to fly. No match for the taller player, Matthew Powell. Into centre half forward, the Powell kick. Morellini now picked up by Bottrell. Has a bounce. Up towards half forward. There's a good lead. Bartul on the lead's taken the mark. Promising since he came on the ground in the third quarter. The half forward kick goes wide. Schwartz, been a strong fullback, has taken the mark.
Schwartz from half back, high towards the wing. Oh, big lead by Jamison in front. Hocking claims the mark, nothing doing. Turner's in trouble. Gets it away to support. Rashudio forward of the centre circle. Intended for Modra, who'll lead back. Will it stay in play? I think it may. Good desperation by Gaspar. He pushes it across the boundary line and we'll have a throw in. 12-10, 9-12. The Crows lead and they're kicking with the breeze. So tough contract here for South. The sun is shining again, some heavy dark cloud around. The rain has stopped. The breeze has dropped a little bit, but still pretty fresh. Now Godden's getting a free kick. Bone is on for the short one. He ignores that. Centres the ball. Modra's a good mark. Oh, almost. Gaspar, away he comes. Not a particularly good kick. Taylor, we've liked him. This is Collard around Godden. Roots to the wing. Bartle, run down by Visca. Bartle, like a cork in the ocean, did well. Taylor, good vision. Away goes Wally Matera, down towards half forward. Whoops, Wellman missed it. Taken by Grant, who snaps, pulls it back way too far, and sneaks it through for a minor score. That would have been a handy goal for South. Lucky to get a point in the final analysis. It's 9-13 to 12-10.
So Alan Schwartz to bring the ball back into play. Jason Spinks kicked 2 goals on him. Schwartz is going to go short, right full back pocket. Wellman. He's kicked towards centre wing, but it's misdirected on that occasion. Mark taken by Taylor. He come inboard to Atkins. He's got some space in front of him. Drop punt in towards the full forward line, but very badly directed. Schwartz marks. Plays on, kicks to Wiedemann. He dummies. The hand pass. It's going to favour Macri. Picks up on the defensive side of the square. Eludes a tackle from Porter. Up towards full forward. There's a good mark. Hocking again, I think. Coming across from the pack. Left footer. Up towards full forward he goes. Modra. Too strong. 2 bites of the cherry. Darren Gaspar, his opponent, is not strong enough on that occasion. Tony Modra, who's kicked 6. Chance to bag his 7th from 40 metres.
And again, Trev, there's that direct football from the Crows, and it's just again showing up how you have a dominant centre half forward in Jared Hocking, and then a full forward capping off with Modra currently with 6 goals.
So from 45, stabbed the kick a little bit, but put it through for a full pointer.
Monday night.
You were the responsible officer. You.
On this occasion, from the centre bounce down, Jamison was on his knees. Kick from Bottrell to half forward. Attempted a mark there by Collins. Swooping in as Bartul. He's been lively. Up towards full forward. Goes, but Schwartz bursts out. Former Essendon player. Played very strongly at fullback. And he's got Fogden, who's also played very strongly on the wing. And he shows a turn of pace for a big ruckman. Tries to get the hand pass over to Sanderson. His hand pass further afield. This is Bone. He's got time on the 50-metre line. Has got a steady. He hasn't done it enough, I don't think. It's off to the left-hand side. One behind of the Crows. 13-11 to 9-13. 22-point margin. Bench there for South Fremantle. Cliff Collard to bring the ball back into play. Kicks to the 50-metre line. Hurd will set from behind though. Atkins worked hard in the second half. A slap along the ground in favour of Morellini. In fact, the player there is Maloney. He's kicked to right half forward. Wellman, a strong defender, particularly in the second half, uses the ball towards the centre. Jamison, the acting captain today, plays on wide. Here's Fogden sitting out all alone on the right centre wing. Put a hand pass to Turner. Looks like he might have moved up forward after playing in defence earlier. Here's kick to Modra, taken on strongly by Cliff Collard. Good bump there, put Modra off the football, and back goes Collard. Legged. The hand pass over favours a teammate, but now it only comes as far as Patterson, who boots the ball to full forward again. Gasper spoils and it hits the ground running. Should be able to tidy up for South Fremantle. Left full back tries to run around a tackle. Ball on the ground, picked up by Grillicic it looks like, but his kick over the line on the full. And the Crows will kick it back into play.
Most of the vantage points being taken now, as you can see the crowd really building up here at the Sir Richard Moore Oval. This SGIO Goldfields Football Classic. First leg of the doubleheader looks like going to the Crows. Can they make it a clean sweep later this afternoon? Sanderson gives it away. Not a good kick, but generally Sanderson's played well. This is Collard in defence then. Nazarek runs it up towards half-back. Oops, didn't see Geddes. Across it comes to Bottrell. Bottrell forward at half-back. Boots towards half-forward. Oh, very good mark is taken by Morellini. Most impressive today. He's kicked 6 goals. Now towards right half-forward. Frank Morellini. Wellman knocks it forward. Didn't have it. Schwartz must get the free kick. He's defended well today, Schwartz. Had a lot of early touches when South kicked the first 6 behinds, or 6 of the first 8 behinds. There's a string of behinds to start this game. Big Bone in trouble. Down he goes. That's a hard bone to bury. And we'll have a bounce down towards right half forward. Gets to his feet. Here comes Atkins at the rate of knots. Over the top, gets it down. Hurried kick by Powell. Collard with courage. Well done. Cliffy Collard, what a servant he's been for South. Eyes only for the football. Back towards half forward. It's a high floater. Atkins up in front. Strong grab. 13-11, 9-13. The Crows lead. South attacking. Wow. Wants it back. Risker takes the mark, goes across the ground. Now a real opportunity here for the Crows. Ball, overran the ball. Now it's picked up by Jamison. They've got a 2-on-1 situation. Italiano needs to mark, and he does. Well done.
So Italiano holds up that attack. Some tired players now. Mistakes being made with the kicks. Italiano's undecided where to go. Finally comes towards right centre wing. From behind went Bottrell. Ball tapped on the ground by Godden. He's going to be met head-on by a couple of South Fremantle players. Atkins picks up. Maloney, Hurd now. A good shepherd there behind play. Allows Hurd to kick the ball further to Taylor. Might have been legged. Back comes Hurd. Tries to work through. Could have thrown the football. Pretty willing there. There's a few mistakes being made. Finally it's slapped out. It's going to favour the Crows. Onto the right boot to half forward they go. Close to the line. So they got the ball at left half forward. Jared Hocking couldn't beat the football there. Sort of handy lead. 13-11 plays 9-13. Closing stages of this last quarter. 20-point lead. So the ball into play. Atkins worked hard. Strength. Wins the tap. Collins. A left foot drop punt. Covers 50 metres into the breeze. Morellini, the live wire forward line. Leaves it for Porter, who gives it to Morellini. Now a further hand pass further afield. Porter soccers off the ground, deep into the right full forward pocket, but Schwartz, just reading the play, sitting back, takes the mark. And he's got Jamison loose at centre half back, who in turn's got a player further afield, Rasciutio, who's taken the mark, can run further forward, but he's got a loose teammate again, Matthew Powell, who's taken the mark outside 50. He's not going to muck around anymore. He's banged away towards goal, but kicked it offline to the left-hand side for one behind. So the Crows are 13-12. South Fremantle are 9-13.
No question, Trevor, as you mentioned before, players getting very, very tired, particularly the South players, and their disposal, particularly by foot, into this breeze, just lacking the punch to get the ball over 30 metres.
And this player must be tired. Marty Atkins, he's played very hard. He's kicking out now. He must be at full back. Into the air goes Gaspar, who was in that position. Hand pass on that occasion is going to favour Warren. It's the hand pass back to Mark Collins. He's got some work to do, Mark Collins. Looks a little bit beefy to me. Thumped away in defence. The ball comes to Porter. Up towards full forward. They go high. Schwartz rooting the ball on the ground once again. And uses it very well. Sanderson stood his ground well and took the mark. And go by hand if he wants to. Two options. One to Wiedemann. He can go further afield now. Ball's come to Soderstrom, who's on the left boot, up towards half forward. Two players there. Into the air they go, and the mark taken by Peter Turner. Hand pass off quickly to Godden. And the Crows are running rings around South now as players are not picking up their opponents. Rasciutio's taken the mark, 55 metres out. With the breeze, could have a chance. It's going to short pass though, because making pay space was Matthew Powell. And Powell's 45 metres out. Useful play today, Matthew Powell. So this would certainly seal it for the Crows if he kicks Major, stabs the ball a little bit, guides it through, straight through the centre, a full pointer to the Crows.
Played some senior games last year on the siren, and the Crows win it in decisive fashion at the end. After a sluggish start, they pulled away from South Fremantle. 15-12 to 9-13, 102-67. Checking the goal scorers firstly for the Adelaide Crows then. Tony Modra, quite a number of goals. Just check them out. He got 7. 4 to Hocking, including that last long bomb, and singles to Powell, Godden and Patterson. And for South Fremantle, Morellini, terrific. He kicked 6 and played very well around the ground. Spinks got 2 and Clementi 1. So that's the 9 for South Fremantle.